Greetings, my friends. It's your boy, B Freezy. Back up in this piece, popping like fish grease, y'all. Back with another video. And today we got to get into the Fighter of the Year of 2023. Who is it? A lot of publications have a lot of different people. Some say Naoya, the monster Inoue. Others say Terrance Crawford. Sports Illustrated says Devin the Dream Haney. But who's really the 2023 Fighter of the Year? Let's get into that, because I got a real good solid take on that. Before we get into it, though, I'm going to need you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment and let me know what you think, because it's not about me talking. I want feedback from the community. I want to hear what you think so we can all learn from each other, y'all. But let's get into it. Happy New Year. And we're going to start off the new year by going through who was the Fighter of the Year in 2023. Okay? Drum roll. Drum roll right there. My Fighter of the Year, Dirty Vision Sports Fighter of the Year, number one. I'm going to go down a list because there's some very worthy candidates, but at the top of the list has to be Naoya, the monster Inoue. That's right, y'all. It's got to be two-time undisputed, two different weight classes, and he did it all in 1 year. Okay? 1 year and 1 week, or 1 year and 2 weeks if we want to get technical. But he did it all in a year's time. Incredible. So he has to be number one in my book. Naoya, the monster Inoue, out of Japan. He's a generational talent. He's an all-time great already, what he's done. There's only two men in the history of the four-belt era that have ever been undisputed in two different weight classes, and that's Naoya, the monster Inoue, and Terrance Bud Crawford. Okay, so last December 2022, Naoya Inoue stopped Paul Butler out of Britain, right, in the 11th round to become undisputed at bantamweight at 118, okay? So he wins that, becomes undisputed at 118, great accomplishment, gives up those belts to move up to super bantamweight 122, and the first fighter he steps to at 122 is Stephen Cool Boy Steph Fulton, who in my opinion is one of the most skilled fighters on the planet. He's very versatile, not the biggest puncher, but he was a unified champion at 122, and he was the man to beat. Inoue goes right up to super bantamweight at 122, wastes no time, takes on Cool Boy Steph. Really talented, really skilled, really slick fighter, and he out-slicked the slickster. That's right. Naoya, the monster Inoue, out-slicked the slickster, showed more skill, showed more ring IQ, showed more athleticism than Stephen Cool Boy Steph Fulton. And again, I'm a Cool Boy fan. I still love him. Just because you lose don't mean you ain't got it no more, right? But Inoue was just too much. He had more skills than a skill guy, and we know he got that power in both hands. He put it on Fulton, got him out of there in dramatic fashion. Beautiful performance. Then a few months later, he steps in to become undisputed at super bantamweight at 122, and he fights Marlon Tapales December 26th of 2023, and he puts a beating on him, right, and gets him up out of there, stops him with a knockout. I believe it was the 9th round, something like that, but he knocked him out, and this was a whole different type of fight. Cool Boy Steph was a slickster, a skill guy, athletic guy. He out-slicked the slickster. Then he goes in to get the other two belts to become undisputed for Marlon Tapales, who's a banger, a rumbler, right? And he outbangs the banger. He outrumbles the rumbler. So he just shows you, just in those two fights of stepping up from 118 to 122, that he can fight any style, any fighter, and give him that work. And that's what he did. And for that, Naoya, the monster Inoue, is my 2023 Fighter of the Year. And that's just that. okay? So much props to him. Now, let's go to the number 2, because there was plenty of worthy candidates. There was a lot of really good fighters. My number 2 has to be Terrance "Bud" Crawford. And he was the pick of some publications for 2023 Fighter of the Year. And we got to give Bud props, man. Now, I know people say, well, he only fought once last year. He did only fight once, but that's not his fault, because everybody's been ducking this guy for years. And when he got in the ring with Spence, we saw why. Okay? Now, I know he's only fought once, but he was the only one out of all the candidates that fought somebody else who was on that pound-for-pound list. And at the time, when him and Errol Spence fought, it was him, it was Terrance Crawford, Errol Spence, and Canelo were the top 3 pound-for-pound. However you want to mix them up and say who was 1, 2, 3, those were the top 3 guys when they fought, right? Inoue didn't fight Stephen Fulton until a week after the Crawford-Spence fight. But, Terrance Crawford was the only guy this year who fought another pound-for-pound great. Errol Spence lost, and Crawford beat him up, beat him bad, made him look bad. Wow, Errol Spence was really that dude. He was the boogeyman. He was that guy, and Terrance Crawford made him look like mincemeat, man. Beat him up something fierce, and it was a marvelous performance. And because of that fantastic performance over another world-class elite pound-for-pound top fighter, which is Errol Spence, who I still have a lot of respect for. He's still a great fighter. He'll still be a Hall of Famer. You know, it's the game. You win some, you lose some. Errol Spence lost that one. Bud Crawford won in tremendous fashion. He is my number 2 when it comes for Fighter of the Year, okay? Got Naoya, the monster, Inoue, number 1. Terrance "Bud" Crawford coming in at number 2 for my number 3. As far as my rankings of 2023 Fighter of the Year, I got to go with my favorite fighter, David the Mexican Monster Benavidez. So we got 2 monsters on this on my Fighter of the Year list, right? But I got David the Monster Benavidez coming in at number 3. What he did was phenomenal. He fought 2 top guys this year, 2 huge mega fights against 2 top guys in the game, 2 of the most talented fighters in the game. His first fight was last March of 2023, and he fought Caleb Plant in a great fight, great performance. Caleb Plant showed a lot of heart. We all know he's got skills and he's extremely talented, and but he was no match for Benavidez. You know, before the night was up, Benavidez was the man. He just put the pressure on, wouldn't stop. Thing about David Benavidez is he's the best fighter, in my opinion, in the game. Now, he may not be the best boxer, quote unquote, but at some point in that fight, if you have good boxing skills or boxing skills that may be deemed like conventionally or fundamentally better than his, he's going to turn it into a fight. He's going to make you fight. And if all you can do is box and you can't fight, he's going to exploit you. He's going to catch up to you. He's going to pressure you, and he's going to get you out of there. He's done it in almost every fight. He did a tremendous job with a really skilled, really talented fighter like really slick fighter like Caleb Plant. It went to a decision. He won a unanimous decision. Caleb Plant showed a lot of heart. Then he comes back against Boo Boo Andrade. 2-time, 2-division world champ, undefeated, Olympian, all the kudos, all the accolades, all the pedigree, a real, true champ and a true elite fighter. Caleb Plant, Boo Boo Andrade, 2 elites. Benavidez dispatched them, right? Beat up Caleb Plant, although Plant showed a lot of heart. Then he gets in there with Boo Boo. Boo Boo looks really good for a few rounds, but then that pressure don't stop, and that pressure will break you, right? And that pressure will break you down, and that's what it did. And he was able to get Andrade out of there in like the 6th round. You know what I mean? So David Benavidez is the third on my list for Fighter of the Year. And I didn't really see him mentioned in any publications, which is crazy to me. But that's cool. Everybody's got their opinions, but I got to have David the Mexican Monster Benavidez. Got to give him consideration and some accolades, and an honorable mention is the number 3 Fighter of the Year this year for what he did, the performances he put on, and guess what? He's turning into a big-time pay-per-view draw, and the Mexican fans are going to love him. Boxing fans in general. It's not just one race, but he's my favorite fighter. One of them. He's at the top. You know, everybody I'm naming on this list is pretty much one of my favorite, but props to David Benavidez, the Mexican Monster. And the fourth honorable mention and the fourth person on my 2023 Fighter of the Year list, right? We got our Dirty Vision Sports list, your boy B Freezy list. I got Naoya, the Monster, Inoue at number 1, Fighter of the Year. I have Terrance Crawford at number 2, right? In that second position, honorable mention for Fighter of the Year. I have David, the Mexican Monster Benavidez at number 3, right? With a good honorable mention for 2023 Fighter of the Year. And the number 4 spot, I got to go with Devin the Dream Haney. And Devin Haney was Sports Illustrated's number 1 choice. He was their Fighter of the Year, Sports Illustrated, right? But I got to give Devin Haney props, man. He's always willing to fight. He's always pressing to fight. He's looking to fight everybody. He calls out everybody. Everybody talks smack about him, but then they never want to fight. So you got to appreciate this guy, man. You got to appreciate he has an old school mentality in this new school era of boxing. He wants to fight everybody. He wants the smoke, like people like to say, right? Devin the Dream Haney had a great fight with Vasily Lomachenko. Great fight. I personally thought Devin Haney won. It was a super close fight, but I thought Devin Haney won a close fight. 115, 113 is how I saw it. You know, I'm being completely objective. You know, other people can call it how they see it, whatever. The bottom line is the judges say Haney won, so he did win. And in my opinion, he pulled it off. He pulled it off. Great fight, though. I would have liked to have seen him run it back, but I understand why he didn't. So he had a great win against Vasily Lomachenko, who showed he's still a great fighter, who showed he's still at the top of his game. Because in a lot of people's mind, he won, or it was a draw, right? And I think Lomachenko's like 34, 35, and Devin Haney just turned 25. So it's a 10-year age difference, and Lomachenko's still competing at the highest levels. Devin Haney with that Lomachenko victory, that was a big deal to me. And then him coming back, I think it was December 9th, December 10th, something like that, of 2023. He came right back, jumped up to 140, fought Regis Prograis, 2-time champion at 140 pounds, had only lost 1 fight, and is respected by all for his heart, for his fighting spirit. And Devin Haney just worked him over. Moved up to 140, his first fight. He goes after one of the top dogs at 140, and he beats him up, bullies him, beats him up, schooled him. And I'm a Regis fan. This is no diss to Regis. This is just what happened. And Regis keep going, bro. Ain't nothing to stop for it. Keep banging, keep fighting. But that night, Devin Haney gave Regis Prograis that work, right? Beat him down, schooled him, everything. Beautiful fight. Jumping up to 140 for the first time. He looked strong. He looked great. He looked athletic. And, Devin Haney comes in with those 2 huge victories and that impressive showing against Regis, moving up to 140 for his first time and going after a top guy. That's what I'm saying, man. Devin Haney, you got to start giving him respect for his willingness to fight. While other dudes are talking, he's looking to fight the best. And that's it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to wrap it up with that, man. Naoya the Monster Inoue, 2023 Fighter of the Year from Dirty Vision Sports. Okay? That means a lot, right? Terrance Crawford, number 2. David, the Mexican Monster Benavidez, number 3. And Devin the Dream Haney coming in at number 4. As an honorable mention on my 2023 Fighter of the Year list, y'all. Let me know what you think. I know this is very, very subjective. There's going to be a lot of opinions, a lot of different viewpoints, and I want to hear them because, you know, I want to hear feedback from everybody so I can see what you're thinking. But again, y'all, thanks for tuning in. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. And if, you know, you think it's interesting enough, share it to some people, man. Throw it up on Facebook, share. You know, let's get these numbers up, man. Dirty Vision Sports, your boy B Freezy. We starting from the bottom. And we're trying to blow up your way. So help us do that with a like, with a subscribe, and with a share. Again, thank you, appreciate it. Have a great night, and it's your boy B Freezy, and I'm out. Bam.